So I think this may be the last dagger. This is all we needed to go out there and talk about to put an end to this entire conversation. Because when it comes to the Montreal Canadiens and their biggest story of the 2024 offseason, obviously they got some good guys at the draft, but I think everybody was super excited to see Patrik Laine suit up in a Habs sweater this year. The unfortunate part is, though, we may have to wait multiple months before we actually see that in a regular season capacity. Well, Patrik Laine himself has just gone out there in yesterday's regular season interviews and spoken out about everything that happened and the conclusions with him and Cedric Pare, the guy who ended up knee-on-knee hitting Laine to put him in this pretty tough spot in the first place. So, let's go out there and refer to the Montreal Canadiens live media video. This was from October 3rd, 7:40 a.m. my time, so it's been over 24 hours by the time this video is uploaded on YouTube on the 4th, and it goes over a bunch of interviews, a bunch of comments, and a bunch of things from Patty Laine. I wanted to take a look at some quotes that Laine goes out there and shares about this situation. This is the first one that was going viral on TSN's social media. "I don't think anybody is trying to hurt anybody," Laine said. "Hockey is a fast game, and I kind of put myself in that situation. The defense tried to make a stop, but it was just an unfortunate collision. Cedric Pare texted me afterwards, which I respected," Laine says about his knee-on-knee collision with Pare. So a few things to note here. Firstly, Laine is taking accountability to the situation wherein he got the knee-on-knee hit. He's saying that he kind of rushed into that spot, maybe it was a little bit tight, and as a result, the D is just trying to go out there and step up and stop him. It contradicts a lot of the opinions that were tossed out there by various social media people, and even analysts like PK Subban went out there and talked about how, you can see that Pare's sticking his leg out, there's no respect for the star players, etc., etc. Laine, though, is coming to Pare's defense and saying, yeah, I kind of put myself in that situation, they tried to stop me, and it was an unfortunate collision. The one thing that I hope for Patrik Laine upon his inevitable return to the Canadiens lineup is that, because of this situation with Pare, I hope ultimately that it doesn't make him hesitate when he starts to take those big rushes and take those strides into the offensive zone, because when Laine gets going, he can go. And we had even seen it in his days in Columbus, where if he decides that he wants to go end-to-end and dangle by everybody and eventually beat out the goaltender, he can. It's just one of these things where if the gaps get a little bit too tight, the potential for collisions like this starts to increase bit by bit. And it's good to see that Cedric Pare, the noted ball hockey goon like he is, ended up texting Laine about it afterwards. I had seen some people bringing up the idea of Pare kind of not showing any remorse in private. It was kind of weird seeing that conversation point brought itself up, but I don't think it's something we should really think about. Instead, what we do know is what Laine ended up telling us in the media. Pare texted Laine, they squashed it, it's all good. And that feeds into all the other stuff here that was talked about as well. Laine saying that he fundamentally believes that no one plays to hurt anybody. He also went out there and said this: "It's fun to be with my Canadiens teammates. Obviously, I'd rather still be on the ice, but I avoided a disaster with my knee. It could have been much worse. I'm still not happy about my injury, but that's how it is. I'm just trying to stay positive, but we'll be back. We'll be back." And I'm pretty sure this is all in response to Laine joining the Canadiens team bonding trip to Tremblant. This is, of course, a pretty good sign. He's a part of the team, he's on the roster, he likes the guys hopefully like him. Even though he's not able to play, he is still capable of moving and being present, and even though he can't really walk much, he is still there. Which is great to see, right? Lots of camaraderie here with this Canadian squad. Patrik Laine being a part of that too. Let's go over onto some other comments that Laine made in this press conference yesterday, talking about the injury itself and what opinions he ended up getting from doctors. Patrik Laine says after his consulting with a few doctors, it was his decision to not opt to have surgery and let his knee heal on its own. We had seen with David Reinbacher, his recovery time is going to be 6 to 7 months. He did have surgery. So, methinks that with the hit that we were observing there, maybe it wasn't as bad as we might have led to believe based off of the video footage. However, with Laine himself saying that he ended up talking to some doctors, he had a choice potentially to go to surgery or let the knee heal. He ended up letting the knee heal, and now we have the timeline that we have. There were some people speculating, oh, he didn't need to get surgery, he can just let it heal, therefore the injury he had must be this. And I don't want to do too much of that in this video, just kind of let the dominoes fall as we see fit. But for Laine himself, this is also what he ended up talking about. He says at the moment, he does not know how long he'll be on crutches or when he'll be able to start skating again. He's going to take it day by day and allow his knee to heal. I also saw some people talking about how, because Laine was using, like, not necessarily the walking boot, but the thing where his knee was suspended and he was kind of walking around on crutches, sorta. I saw a lot of people saying that because he was doing that, it might have actually been a really, really positive move. Like, one of the more underrated things that we had seen, that he was able to give his knee the proper support all the time. No moments of putting extra pressure, no trying to walk on it, screw all of that. The guy was just, right away, we gotta treat this super intensely, there's no room to take it lightly, and it seemed like it paid off. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm just kind of regurgitating some stuff that I had seen other people talking about, but I'm gonna believe it because it makes for a better story, right? Laine then went out there and said this: "How many doctors did you see?" The question was. I saw a couple of doctors. I got some good opinions. At the end of the day, it was my call to make whatever we want to do. The Habs team and everybody else gave me all the help with that. At the end of the day, I decided not to do surgery, just do rehab and let it heal. It was my knee, after all. So that seems very, very positive. I'm surprised, actually, that everything came out here so quickly, and that Laine himself was able to answer a lot of these questions pretty much with no problems. I mean, obviously, it's a difficult situation, and with all of the extra stuff there, with Pare, with the social media backlash, it kind of bleeds into more of the bad side of hockey social media. Here's another tweet. I wanted to leave this till the end here. Didn't want to talk about this right away, but Darren Dreger went out there and tweeted this out. It's good on Laine for clearing up that him and Pare actually talked about the hit afterwards and no bad blood is shared between them. Pare has come under fire since this hit and has been abused and threatened via social media, to the point that the Maple Leafs have disabled Pare's accounts. And if you go over to Cedric Pare on Instagram, I mean, we talked about this already, but I think the comments are disabled on all of his posts now. It wasn't always like this. Everything with Pare in it is not free grounds for the public to go out there and discuss. So for Pare himself, obviously I don't want to give the guy like too much sympathy because he did have that little snarky look in his interview after the game, and he also did the hit, but Patrik Laine is clearing everything up. It's all good now, it seems, and the recovery period seems to be a lot better than most would have anticipated. No surgery required here. I mean, he maybe could have had it if he wanted, but he's deciding to let it heal on his own, and this is the recovery timeline that we have. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about all this Patrik Laine stuff from yesterday morning and what this means, really, to see the Canadiens' biggest acquisition of the summer be as motivated as ever and still willing to do his thing. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.